Hi, I have a question for you. How does a major hospitality firm stay in business continually for 50 plus years? Are you positioned for 50 years of success? The Hyatt Hotels Corporation has accomplished this by continually growing its assets and brands. My name is Bobby Sue Knight. I am a hotel and restaurant management student at Anne Arundel Community College. I have spent the last 4 weeks studying the Hyatt Hotels Corporation and how the hospitality juggernaut that it is still afloat in this lethargic economy after 50 plus years. Of course, some of you may wonder, just who is Hyatt? I mean, if you're like me, you may have not really ever stayed at a hotel, or maybe not stayed at one very often at least. So, Hyatt Corporation is founded in 1957 by Jay Pritzker. He bought a hotel in Los Angeles called Hyatt House. By 1961, he had purchased 5 more properties. Now, this was a big deal back then because money, loans and everything, it wasn't easy to get. These days, Hyatt trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the letter H. The executive chairman of the company is Thomas J. Pritzker. The president and CEO of the company is Mark Huplamazian. And they have 10 Hyatt brands, including Andaz, Hyatt Regency, Hyatt Place, Hyatt Residence Clubs, Park Hyatt, just to name a few. In 2012, total revenue for the Hyatt Hotels Corporation was $3.494 million. And the 2014 Fortune magazine list of top 100 companies to work for, as posted on CNNmoney.com, listed them as number 95. They did not have a previous rank. So how do they do this? Well, one of the things is brand positioning. Now, the magazine Hotel Management did an interview with the Senior Vice President of Brands for Hyatt, Sarah Carney. And she brought up some interesting points. But one thing that she discussed was the fact that the brand, the wording of the brand, has to fit the brand. If the wording doesn't fit the brand, then they're not doing something correct. Or if the wording between the two brands is too close. So if the wording between, say, the Grand Hyatt and the Hyatt Regency is too close describing the brands, then they need to look and see what they're doing. IT innovation. Yeah, everybody looks at the IT guy and goes, I can't open my email, fix it! That's not what IT is all about. And in Computer World, they actually did a cover story about the rising stars of IT. And one of the people they interviewed was a gentleman, 37 years old, who works for Hyatt in technology. And having more respect for him than to murder his name, because I can't pronounce it, I was reading what he was saying, and IT innovation to him is not just all of the programs and hardware and software and wires and connections and firewalls. It's, hey, we can make it so our customers can check in with their smartphone and unlock their door. I don't know about you, but I kind of like that. Express check-in, the first time I stayed in a hotel when I graduated high school, was, gee, there's a line over there for people who have already registered. You want to know how long that line was? The summer I graduated high school? It was actually longer than the people who didn't have reservations. No kidding. Global positioning is another way that Hyatt innovates. Hyatt has 500, actually over 500 locations, 46 countries, employing somewhere around 45,000 people. That's positioning. That is definitely positioning. They're in India. They're in China. 79.5% of their revenue comes from right here in the United States. That is their major global holding. But that's only one country. So that means they're also in 45 others. The other thing that helps Hyatt out is SWAT. And I know everyone just, oh, huh? SWAT, isn't that special weapons and tactics that the police use? No. SWAT in the hotel and management industry is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But I have to admit, the first time I heard the term, I was like, huh? It's what? Don't the police use that? I did the same thing. Hyatt has great strengths. Great ones. They are a very recognizable brand. Highly recognizable brand. Their brand strength, part of which comes from their recognition, gets them a preference amongst customers. They strategically locate themselves. They don't just, ooh, there's a highway, let's throw a Hyatt down there. No. They look at, what is this location going to bring to Hyatt? But what can Hyatt bring to this location? Which brings me to another point. They look at what they can do as far as community interaction, environmental sustainability. They get involved. And that makes the community more likely to support them, to come work for them, to recommend the Hyatt to friends and family coming into town. Weaknesses. They're highly dependent on the U.S. market. Highly. We are, as the market, a cog in the wheel. Opportunities? Lots of them. Just a few? Well, the U.S. government is always promoting domestic tourism. I mean, we promote foreign tourism too, but we want tourists on our soil. So they want the hotel industry to be there. They are focusing on guests. They are focusing on what the guests want. What do the guests see that we can improve? And, even though the economy is moving very slowly, there's still a very strong growth in the hotel sector. People are still traveling. They travel for business and everything else. But with opportunity, just like with strengths come weakness, with opportunity comes danger, and there come your threats. There's a lot of competition out there. Marriott, for instance, Starwood, Diamond. There is competition out there. The economy, the economy, the economy. I don't care what industry you're in. The economy is always going to affect business. Even if it's a needs-based business, the economy is always going to affect your business. And as long as the economy is sluggish, it's going to affect the hotel industry. And then there is the concept of the increasing U.S. wage. Minimum wage is eventually going to have to go up because the cost of living going up. As the minimum wage increases, then costs increase. As costs increase, they get eventually, operating costs increase, they eventually go to the consumer. So, wages increase, operating costs increase, consumer costs increase, therefore it's a trickle-down effect. And that is a threat. But the Hyatt has stayed in business successfully for over 50 years because it doesn't stay in one spot. The Hyatt motto on its webpage is "You are more than welcome." Well, I would like to think that we can all be more than successful. I think the Hyatt has definitely been more than successful in their pursuits in the hotel industry. And I think that there's a few things we can all take from the Hyatt. We can brand ourselves. We can know who we are. We can re-identify, recreate, continue to educate ourselves, change with the times, analyze ourselves, innovate, and then we can all go position ourselves for success. Hope you enjoyed my presentation, and let's go position for success.